Hey, there we are. Sure takes a while for this to connect. Let me just set up my goal here. I kind of wish this prompt wasn't coming up, but it keeps prompting me. So we are going to set it to make the YouTube algorithm happy. So if you see the camera shaking, I'm just setting up the typing in the goal. For some reason, my iPad doesn't allow me to do it right now. So there we go. Okay, goal is started. Well, I see there's one person in here, and it's probably my iPad. So funny. Oh, 5 people. Hey, Kathy. Hello, Jane, my friend. Let me get this iPad completely set up. There we go. Now I can see the chat. How is everybody? We have a lot to talk about today. Let me just let a few people come in. Now we're going to take care of a little housekeeping here, and then we're going to talk about the Nancy Guthrie case, day number 73. Oops, I forgot to turn off my notifications. Hold on. Gonna have to go out of my screen for just a moment and then figure out how to get back into my screen. There we go. Oh, hello, Jewel Giacana. I wasn't even planning, and I know I say this quite frequently, I really wasn't planning on going on. But there's something about the Nancy Guthrie situation in her neighborhood that we need to talk about today. But I do have to go off subject for just a few moments when we start this, but I want to have enough people in here, especially some of my regulars, so that, you know, they can hear my conversation. I'm pulling the table closer to me because it's coming from my heart. And it's not something that I want to just take care of it at the beginning of the video, and then we can just move on to why we're actually here, and that is to keep the Nancy Guthrie case relevant. 9 people. Hey, 12 people. Oh my gosh. And on a Tuesday. That's usually a slow day. Well, welcome in, everybody. Hey, this is April Davis, PI. I'm a licensed PI in Los Angeles, California, and it is Tuesday, April 14th, 2026. And I'm going to talk today about something that's been coming up. I've been reading quite a bit about it and hearing about it and watching videos about it. 30 people. Oh my gosh. That's amazing. Everybody hit that thumbs up, hit those red hearts. It helps the algorithm. It'll bring people into the show. Before I start my show today about Nancy, and we're not going to talk about this very much, but for anybody that was here on my birthday, for my birthday show, you know that I received a gift, a hair straightener. No, I didn't, Nolan. I received a hair straightener, and it was one of those last minute things where I think my best friend's daughter just like she didn't have time to go shopping, so she grabbed a gift and stuffed it in a bag. She was busy going to get the cake and going to pick up the kids and get over here on time. And it was, I think, something she got in, she couldn't use it, so she regifted it to me. And maybe she didn't know there's a language barrier there that it's something that I can't use either. So someone on my birthday show was like, we were talking about eBaying it or whatnotting it or Facebook Marketplace or donating it even to one of my viewers. And she said, you might want to try to sell it, take the money, and then go out and buy the hairbrushes that you actually really need. And I was like, that's a good idea, but I'll have to research eBay. And I haven't looked it up yet, but apparently there's like 20,000 hair straighteners on eBay. So what I'm trying to say is this was just like kind of tongue in cheek, like, hey, maybe I'll sell it or maybe I'll donate it. Maybe I'll gift it to a channel viewer here, a member or someone who might need it, or they have a daughter or a mother or a sister, somebody that needs it. Hold on, Blue Dragon. Just got to finish this. Well, apparently, somebody, one of my regular viewers, I think she may even be a channel member, watched that birthday video and was appalled and doesn't know me personally, doesn't know anything about who I am. That's funny you would say that, Nolan. Who are you? I'm April Davis, PI. Doesn't know anything about my life, even though I'm very transparent here on this channel. And apparently, she now thinks that because I cannot use this birthday gift and I need to do something so that this doesn't end up in a landfill or donated to the Goodwill where somebody will reach in the box and steal the parts and the rest of it will end up at the bins and then the bins will send it to the crusher. And you know where the crusher items end up? In the landfill. I'd rather donate, regift, sell. My eBay store, I do donate a portion of some of my sales to Bunny Love in North Hollywood. It's Bunny Love Rabbit Rescue. It means the world to me. I also donate to Bellowing Acres in Ocala, Florida. Uh, okay, now, I'm not tooting my own horn here, but I was accused by one of my viewers as having lack of character. Hello, Greg. This person obviously has never met me, knows nothing about me. Uh, I hope she doesn't renew her membership. But just so you know, this was something that my viewers threw out like, well, maybe you could do this, maybe you could do that. This person speaks another language who gifted me this. English is a second language. She does not watch my YouTube channel. Even if she did, she would want me to be able to use that gift in a way that I could either benefit myself or I could benefit others. It wouldn't bother her in the least. It was probably an item that she was trying to get out of her home. She lives in a house where there's been a couple of deaths. There's 2 bedrooms full of stuff that, they're trying to rehome, and it's kind of a bad situation. So if anybody would understand, my bestie's daughter would understand. Oh, thanks for coming in and being a mod, Hearts. So I'll say it once again. If you saw the birthday video or you would like to go watch the video from the 12th, please feel free to do so. And if anybody here decides that they really need a hairbrush, an electric hairbrush hair straightener, they've got frizzy or curly hair, let me know. I'll be happy to send it to you at my cost. I will take some of the birthday donations, which, by the way, I think I'm getting less than 50% when I get my check at the end of May. They took more than 50% out of those donations, but I will still take money out of that and I will regift the item and I will mail it to whatever address you tell me to mail it to. There's only one. So if somebody wants it, you've got the email, send it to me. But I have to say, even though I do have a very thick skin being a detective, I wasn't happy to be accused of lack of moral character. So you guys here, you know me. Oh, hey, Greg, it's your birthday today. Happy birthday. So that's my speech. You know who you are. I haven't seen that user in here. Hopefully she's no longer watching my channel. That is not who I am. You took that the wrong way, and I'm offended by it, and I'm sure most of my viewers and subscribers would be offended by it. So I think you might need to find another YouTuber to watch. There's 115 million of us. I'm just one tiny, tiny little channel. So, and thank you for listening to me. Yeah, I'm lack of moral character. This is a person who spent 42 years of my life fighting crime. That family, by the way, I have sponsored them. I've spent thousands of dollars in my own money paying their legal bills so that they could actually be here and be free. So they would be the last person on the planet to think that I had a lack of moral character. So just saying. So, hearts, if you would like the item or you know somebody that would like the item, just get in touch with me and I will take money from the future YouTube check that is coming at the end of May, and I will in advance pay for your postage to regift it. If not, I probably will list it somewhere with the profits going to charity to Bunny Love Rescue because they can always use the money. Remember that, everybody? Bunny Love Rescue Group. I'm not affiliated with them. They are a nonprofit. I will make sure that somehow they reap the rewards from that. Now, I don't know what you're saying, cats. This channel is about a little bit of everything, but right now we're going to talk about the Nancy Guthrie case. It is day number 73, and there is a house that has been talked about in Nancy's neighborhood. Oh, thank you so much for the gift. Welcome into my channel, Paige. I haven't seen you before. Hello, Jimmy. For those of you who are just coming in, you may want to, at the end of this video, go back and watch the beginning so you can hear my little speech. Okay. Um, yeah. Oh, okay, Hearts. Your hair is as straight as mine. Okay. If you know somebody, let me know, Hearts. I would love for you to benefit it. I offered it to Sue Brock Goldschmidt, but she said she didn't need it. But let's get on with the business today. The actual what this is about. This is about Nancy Guthrie. And if you remember, front porch guy, mask man, holster guy, double glove man. This man, while he's standing there on the early morning hours of February 1st on full moon, you see lights in the background. And one appears to be flashing. If you watch that video over and over again, people thought that was like, I even thought that was headlights for a moment, or it was a car. But then I thought about it later, that doesn't make any sense. Those lights were lights at the house that many YouTubers refer to as the house across the street, but it's not directly across the street. If you look at the end of Nancy's driveway, there is a smaller street that goes up a little incline. I call it like a little hill because it's very hilly in the Catalina foothills. That's why it's the foothills. It's not flat, it's the desert and it's hilly there. So if you go up at the end of her driveway and instead of turning left out of the driveway or right and just go straight, you go up a street that there is a house that is having construction work on. Okay, I've learned a lot about the house. Oh, did I get another? Thank you for the gift, Pace. Hey, Landon. I like your name. I don't know who that is. Let's go on here. So, here we go. This house where the lights were kind of blinking a little bit, this is a house that was owned by an elderly couple. The elderly couple apparently, hello, Leanne, lives in the state of Texas. Apparently, they're quite wealthy. They own multiple properties in multiple states. And, when people get elderly, and obviously no one's going to live, hey, nobody's going to live forever. Uh, Often, rather than having their assets stuck in probate when they pass on, they will either quit claim deed or they will sell for a minimal amount of money, like $1, $5, $10, $1 million property. And there's a couple named the Levies. I'm not going to give their first names, but they're the Levies. They live in Texas. They are Pace. They are quite wealthy. From what I'm hearing, they own multiple properties in multiple states. For the amount of $10, they sold the house across the street at the top of the cul-de-sac to their daughter. Their daughter apparently has her own house somewhere else. I don't even know if she lives in Arizona. She may live in Texas where the parents live. I know who that daughter is. I'm not going to name her, but their daughter pays. Thank you so much. Very much appreciated. It'll help pay for the postage on the hair straightening brush. Uh, you guys have to see the beginning of the video to understand that reference. Okay. Apparently, since she was basically gifted or sold this house from her parents for $10, she has not lived in it, and there has been a construction crew that's been coming in and out of the house from Mexico. Now, we are reporting this. I'm not investigating these people or the house. Everybody here is innocent until proven guilty. But supposedly there's a construction crew that's been coming back and forth from Mexico. And remember, the border is at least 70 miles away. These people aren't driving back and forth across the border every day. These men actually live in the house while they're working on the house. Hey, that's so sweet of you. Here's another one. Oh, geez. Uh, so this construction crew, they're back and forth. Okay. Supposedly they were there the night that this happened, this crime, this abduction, kidnapping, whatever you want to call it. They were still occupying the house. Now, neighbors say that the people that lived in that house may have quickly moved after this happened to Nancy. But from what I'm hearing, there's no permanent residence in that house. The daughter that owns it from the Levies does not live there. She's got people coming in and out because I'm sure at some point either she's going to move in or she's going to sell the house once the parents are, no longer with us. I don't even know if the parents are still alive right now. I've heard that they live in Texas and they're elderly. So she's doing work on the house. Apparently, this family has money. Oh, I just heard the ding ding on the YouTube LaMetric clock. Thank you for subscribing. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Hit the bell icon for your notifications and hit that thumbs up. So this house has crews coming and going. And there is a neighbor. I'm not sure if he lives on Nancy Street or he lives also on the cul-de-sac whose name is Paul. Apparently, he's been interviewed by some of the boots on the ground. And he said that there's some strange guys that live there and they've heard some screams coming from that house. Now, apparently, while one of the YouTubers that set up in the tent across the street was there, it wasn't JLR, it was somebody else. Somebody gave me the name. I checked out the videos, but I don't know which one it was. They said that the police were seen, two police cars just screamed up that hill, and cops jumped out, deputies jumped out and ran through the front yard to the backyard and then very quickly left. Now, this house where it's rumored that there's been creepy people or strange people and that they've heard screams coming from that house, supposedly they also laid concrete around the time of the disappearance for a pool. So, did they lay the concrete the day after she disappeared? Then they left to go back to Mexico. I don't know. It's not an Airbnb. It's not a Verbo like VRBO, which is like Airbnb. This is a house that was passed on from a family, a couple, a married couple, to a daughter for the amount of $10. She doesn't live there. She's been working on the house. Not her personally, but construction crews, contractors, handymen, whoever she's hired to go work on that house. Now, neighbors say the people that were there, these strange men, left very quickly after Nancy Guthrie disappeared. But others have said, oh no, they laid the concrete for a swimming pool and then left. I don't live in Tucson. I've never been to that neighborhood, but these are the internet rumors that get started. Hello, Angel. Thanks for coming in. And Linda is watching from Northern Michigan. Well, welcome in, Northern Michigan. Audrey Vaughn. Hiya. Let's see, who did I miss? Oh, you're from Scotland. I'm part Scottish, Audrey. Well, we can add that to our list of countries. Uh, I know you're from the UK, but Scotland, Wales, England, that all runs through my blood, as does Irish and German. So welcome in from Scotland. Wow, that's just amazing. Let's see. Who else did I miss? Uh, Oh, you subbed. Thank you, Landon. I appreciate that. So, I'm not saying that that house had anything to do with it, but if you look at my thumbnail, you'll see like the masked man on part of my thumbnail today. If you see some of that video that was released, once the FBI was able to secure the video, Google was able to take that video or secure it from the Nest Cloud, even though the camera had actually been stolen the night of the crime. You can see lights on in the background. And originally, it was reported that those may have been headlights because one of them is blinking. Well, if you remember front porch guy, he had a flashlight. It's called a bite light in his mouth that was sticking out of his mouth. That's why there's that glare when he's looking into the camera like this, because he's got the bite light. And at some point during that video, when he comes walking up, and then he's like looking like this, but then he turns around and he's like, oh, let me grab the flowers and, the plants and go like this because he's trying to remove the camera. At some point, viewers have said that he turns and he looks up that hill. And one of those headlights is not headlights that were house lights. That whole house was lit up that night in the middle of the night. That someone is seen flashing a light, like a flashlight. Like he's got the bite lamp in his mouth or the bite light, and he turns, looks up that hill, and you see flashing. Now, other people just say that's just the camera, the lens, picking up the reflections. Remember, we had a full moon that night. It was February 1st. It was a huge full moon that night, and that's why it's so lit up behind him because that neighborhood is typically pitch black. There's no street lamps allowed in that neighborhood due to the wildlife migration laws, which, by the way, I'm very much a proponent of those laws. I think that's wonderful. But all this information is coming out about this house and, the neighbors are like, oh, well, the police should be looking into that. I'm sure they are. Well, maybe not Pima County because you know how that's been going. But hopefully the FBI is taking all these rumors into consideration because I've heard everything from, oh, well, they left the next day and they took her, that they didn't put her in a car to drive her away, that somebody put her in a trash bin or a wheelbarrow and rolled her up that hill, which I think is highly unlikely, but there were some sort of tire marks right outside the front porch where you see the blood, and then the blood only goes a few feet and it apparently stops. Like I've heard the blood doesn't go to the street or the driveway or across the front. I wouldn't call it a lawn because, it's the desert. It's just dirt and rock. But apparently the blood is just concentrated right near the front porch, right outside the front porch. And Bunny, it's okay. Okay, Bunny just got scared. Bunny, it's okay. Uh, whatever happened right at that front door. And maybe she protested because she was being taken away. Maybe she was being carried out. She possibly had a face injury or a nosebleed. Remember, she had a pacemaker. She was probably on a blood thinner. But so many people are talking about this house. And if that's really the case, then I would say that the FBI needs to get a search warrant and they need to go in that house and they need to go in the garage and they need to look at anything in the backyard. If somebody recently, dug a hole or laid the concrete for a swimming pool, maybe send the cadaver dogs to that house. Maybe that house should be looked into because wouldn't it be something if all this time where people are looking all over the United States and Mexico for this woman, wouldn't it be something if her body was at the house across the street? I'm not saying that it is. I'm not accusing these Levies of being involved in anything, but there's so much talk about, especially from this neighbor, Paul. And I don't know who Paul is. Maybe you guys that are following the boots on the ground that watch my channel, that are watching other YouTube channels, maybe you guys know who Paul is. But he said that, there were some strange people living there and that they have heard screams coming from that house. But yet I hear that it's a construction crew that's from Mexico that was hired by the new homeowner, who is the Levy daughter, to do the work. Has anybody here that's watching me right now, has anybody here heard the information about this house? Let me take the paperwork. Sorry, I had to move the camera. There's even internet discussions about this, saying strange happenings near missing persons location. I just saw this. And that address, which is it's public record, is 5825 North Serrata Chica. It's the house on the top of the hill directly across the street from Nancy Guthrie's. Jane says no, she has not heard of this. Many strange happenings on that property. Neighbor Paul said a lady owns it and is not living there. That's true from what I know. She does not live there or has ever lived there. Same area, we heard screams and some weird dudes hanging out there. And I've heard the two stories that somebody moved out of that house like very quickly after Nancy's disappearance. And I've also heard that a concrete foundation, like the base for a swimming pool, was poured at that house. I have a copy of the special warranty deed that says the Levy's husband and wife convey, and I'm not going to say her first name, but it's their daughter. That's what everybody's reporting, that this person, whose also last name is Levy, is their daughter, and that these people live out of state. I don't know about JLR. I don't watch him very much, Jerry. So, no, you haven't heard about this either. I've been hearing about this for several weeks, and people are like, oh, why would you sell it for 10? Well, I understand that because, as a PI, I'm in the legal profession. Sue Brockschmidt. Let me just pause what we're talking about here. I went to the box today. Shout out. This is for you, Sue. I need these so bad. The socks that I'm wearing right now are actually falling off my feet and getting all crinkled into my shoe. That is how bad I need these. I'm sending you love. I'm sending you hugs. Also, you weren't here earlier. You may want to watch this video again at the beginning. Like when I'm done with this video, you may want to watch the beginning, because I was accused of a horrible thing last night. Now, I guess I'm just, I have a pretty thick skin being a detective, because when you're a detective, it's like being a cop. Nobody likes you. You go into a party and they're like, "Whoa, she's a PI." Everybody's, "Oh, nobody wants to talk to you," or they want to tell you all their stories and ask for your help. It's very important that you see this. Hi, Humble. Yes, and just the short of it, I was accused of having no morals. I'm a bad. I have bad moral character, and when you hear the story, because you were here for the birthday show, you'll understand why. And by the way, for anybody that's just coming in now, if you need an electric hairbrush hair straightener, it's like a hair straightening brush that you plug into the wall, let me know and I will send it to the address of your choice. And I will use some of the YouTube money that will be coming at the end of May to pay for the postage. I will regift it to somebody. Um, That's okay. You didn't see the notification right away. Well, you're here now. And we're talking about Nancy Guthrie, day number 73. And we're talking about the house up on the hill, which is basically, it's the house across the street, but it's not just directly across the street. It's across the street and up that cul-de-sac on this 5825 North Serrata Chica in Tucson. And yeah, that's public information, as is the warranty deed. That's public information. Everybody's been talking about this for the last couple of weeks. I don't know if this has anything to do with what happened to Nancy Guthrie, but it is something that the Sheriff's Department and the FBI should look into. And apparently, during another YouTuber's live that was across the street from Nancy's house several weeks ago, two Pima County Sheriff's vehicles, patrol cars, were seen racing up that street and, running into the property, but then they very quickly left. So, oh, hi, Kelly. Yeah, you'll have to rewatch the beginning of this too because Kelly has known me since the 8th grade, and when she hears what I had to say, what I've been accused of, she will laugh, and she will be more than happy to straighten that person out. So it looks like we're going to have to lose a viewer. I'm not going to block them. I mean, they're welcome to come in, but this is a huge uh, misunderstanding as to my character. Oh, you never get the notifications. You know what you can do, Kelly? You can like unsubscribe and then resubscribe and then click that bell notification again, and you should get it. Now, also, you guys that were watching the birthday show and you watched yesterday, you saw me drinking the diet ginger beer. And this lady had previously sent some Venmos and said, don't shout me out. So, other than telling you guys that it's a female, I've never shouted her out. And she actually sent another Venmo donation, and I'll keep it private. She's been sending little donations since she started watching the Guthrie series. She's really enjoying that. And she said that, she's, let me see, I'll read without saying her name. She says, birthday live. Glad you had a nice birthday. It's okay. She says this. And I'm not going to show her picture or her name, but she said, it's okay to call me Sue M. So welcome, Sue. So we have Sue Brock Schmidt, who is not the same person. And we have a Sue M. I don't even know where she comes in from. Apparently, she's never typed anything into the chat. She goes, I haven't had much experience with chats, so I wasn't sure about the shout outs. I don't have to be super secret. Okay. Glad you like the ginger beer. I think I'll try some too. And I wrote her back and I thanked her and I highly recommend that she try the ginger beer too. So thank you, Sue M, for the ginger beer. We talked about it yesterday and on my birthday show, but I did get a donation, 620 yesterday evening on the 13th. Thank you so much. It makes me mad when people lie about someone. Yeah, but being a detective, like I said, people don't like detectives. They think of them as cops. I'm not a police officer. I'm a civilian. Now I do have like subpoena power and things like that, and I can basically walk into a police station or a hospital or a doctor's office and bring my paperwork with an attorney's signature, and they have to comply. Even the sheriff's department, and it's hard to have to make that call to the sheriff, going, well, the clock expires at 5 o'clock today or 5 o'clock tomorrow. And if I don't have what I subpoenaed, the judge says you may be facing sanctions and you're going to have to come to court with me on this. And, the next day before 5 o'clock, a police car shows up at the mailbox and, they'll bring a whole carton in if they have to. So I do have a little bit more power than a civilian, but I am not an LEO. I am not a law enforcement officer. So, Kelly, when we're done here, you can see the beginning of this and you'll just be, I mean, it was it was almost laughable, but then I had a hard time sleeping again. And remember, I didn't sleep much the night before. I was exhausted. Like my brain wasn't even functioning on yesterday's show. But yeah. And speaking of the birthday, I know it's still my birthday month. I go to the box and look, more cards and letters. Now, this first one, this is from a really good friend of mine, and I don't want to, better cover up her address. This is my lifelong friend, Carol. She was one of the first people I met when I moved back to LA at 18. And she, her and her daughter and her husband sent me this beautiful card, and I'm going to keep it private because they are close personal friends of mine. But I also got a whole nother set of cards that say April Davis Platt, April Davis, now this one says Pratt. That's a new one. Birthday girl, April Davis Platt. I've never been April Davis Platt or Pratt. Here's another one, April Davis Platt. Another one. So let me just shout out, thank you, Donna from Medford, New York. There's no first name here. The Sykes, Peoria, Arizona. Rose in Pueblo, Colorado. Let's see, Myron in Tampa, Florida, or well, it was stamped Tampa. Let me see. Oh, excuse me, Myron in Tarpon Springs, Florida. I apologize. This is interesting. I can't wait to open this one. Catherine from Cherry Hill, New Jersey. I spent a lot of time in Cherry Hill, so that means the world to me. And initial K, she doesn't put her first name, could be a man or a woman, from Jackson, Mississippi. Thank you so much. Now, there was also a large envelope in there, and it actually was addressed to me, April Davis, and it's local. It's from Palos Verdes Estates. I've spent a lot of my career working in Palos Verdes, and so I am the Platts or the Pratts now. I wonder that too, Sue. So I opened this up. I still have to read all these, but there is a whole group of handmade cards, like maybe a dozen or more. And they're like notes from like kids and stuff. Like, it's incredible. But there is a sticker on the back that says to senior citizens. Now, I'm not quite a senior citizen yet. I am not 65 or anywhere close to 65. And, but thank you. I don't know who did this. But for any of you that might be watching this channel, I am just April Davis or April Davis PI. I can't wait. I mean, who knew? I only have 2,400 subscribers. If all these people that are sending cards could sub to my channel, maybe we could get it to 3,000. It is nice, but it's rather strange and it is very sweet, Kathy. I know what the what. And thank you for watching your language because sometimes I forget to do that. And today, while I was in the mailbox store, I forgot to bring the cash. Uh, Remember, I have to pay for the pickup, and the guy needed $1. And there was actually a line there, and he doesn't have his. He used to co-own the store with his sister, and he always had workers, so there'd be like 2 or 3 people in there. And now it's just a one-man show. And he was filling out some notary forms, and so there was actually a line to the door. And I'm standing there with my cane, and then I realized, oops, because some of the pickups are free, but most of them you owe $1 or $2 or $3. And so I was like, oh, let me go out to my car and get my dollar. And I go out there and I forgot to put the cash in my purse. I literally had no cash. And I'm like, well, I'll bring the credit card in, but I don't think he's going to run my credit card for just $1. So I'm like, I'm sure there's something in their store that I need. And he's always like, don't worry about it. You can bring it next time. But I'm like, no. I need something today because it was my birthday. And, I like to buy something, for my birthday. And I have been desperate to find a purse. And so I got this purse today, and you guys might think it's ugly, but here's what's really cool about it. It says Paris, and it has the date on it of 1974. If you guys can believe this, I was actually in Paris in 1974. So here's the purse. There's a strap on the inside that you can, like a crossbody strap. So I'll probably put that on these little hooks, and I'll wear it, as a crossbody, over the side like this. But my purse, and I'm going to keep it. It was from my bestie. It's probably at least 10 years old. It's got holes in it. It's filthy. And I wash it in the washing machine. I scrub it in the sink, but it's just completely shot. So tonight I'm going to enjoy setting up my new purse that I bought when I went to pick up my socks. So thank you, Sue. If you hadn't sent those socks, I would not, and I hadn't forgotten my cash. And he was like, no, don't worry. You can pay it next time. I'm like, no, I need to buy something today. And then you can just add the dollar to my sale. So, Kelly Ray, did she think ginger beer was real beer? Who? Ginger beer is ginger ale. But in Australia, they refer to it as diet ginger beer. Who? You mean, oh, the lady that sent it? And now she says it's okay to give her name, Sue M. I think she knows it's soda. Am I being stalked? I sure hope not. But if I am, I'm living in Fort Knox. Oh, Jay. Okay. Yeah. Welcome in, Jay, my friend. When we're done with this, just go through the video again at the beginning and you will see the situation I'm dealing with now. But it's fine because I know all you guys, especially those that actually know me in person. Most of you don't, but you know the kind of person that I am. And you'll actually you'll either be shocked or you'll have to have a laugh about it. And luckily I have thick skin, but um, got accused of having lack of moral character. Never in my life. Uh, I've spent my life dedicated to helping people. So God works in mysterious ways. Yes, He does. My cousin Brenda came in here through my live and didn't. I don't think she knew I had a YouTube channel, and it just came up in her feed. And there's over 115 million active subscribers on YouTube. So she said it was God. Those stupid gloves. What are we talking about? Let's see. Oh, hi, Luke Taylor. Welcome in. So, yeah, the news for today was it wasn't like breaking news, but it was about that it's Nancy Guthrie Day number 73. We're in week 11. And I wanted to talk to you guys about that house up on the cul-de-sac, up on top of the hill. uh, and I need to look at that video again because there are people saying that there's someone up on top of that hill in front of that house that's flashing a light. And remember, the moon was very bright that night, but I do remember like a twinkling or like seeing a light flash. And the guy had the bite lamp, the front door guy or masked man, front porch guy, whatever you want to call him. He did have that bite light or bite lamp in between his teeth, and he was like, facing the front door and trying to get the Nest camera with the gloves, which may have been double gloves, and you see these lights behind him. That was lights on at the house on top of the hill where nobody actually lives because that house was deeded over to a daughter, an elderly couple that lives out of state. It, and the daughter, it's a way of avoiding probate tax when the parents pass. But she also lives somewhere else and has a house in another location. I don't know where, but she's had a crew that's been coming up from Mexico reportedly. And that may be the house where the neighbors reported, like, hey, right after this happened, somebody very quickly left. And there were strange men there. And the police have been to that house at least once. It was caught on a YouTube live. I was asking for the link, but nobody ever sent me the link. I don't even remember the name of the YouTuber. It wasn't JLR, it was somebody else when the police cars raced up the hill to that house. But then there's the rumor that concrete for a swimming pool was laid the very next day, and then maybe the people like left. But apparently this crew, they go back and forth to Mexico. So it may have nothing to do with the Nancy Guthrie crime, but since the police don't have a viable suspect at this point, from what I'm hearing, it may be just a I got my free birthday drink today from Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf. Hello, Vicky. Welcome back in, my friend. So, yeah, you're not seeing any of these gifts. I wonder if I'm not up to the live. I'm on live right now. Do you mean the jewels that somebody said? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Oh, you're caught up now. Okay. Uh, so yeah, I went and got my free. Usually I take small, but it was free, so I got the regular size today. I even paid for my upgrade to the almond milk because I stay away from dairy. Meat, pork, red meat, and dairy. Just since cancer is, except for yogurt and eggs, is basically no longer in my diet. Uh, so I had that. I bought myself a little pastry. That's all I've had today. And then I went to the box because I was like, you know what? I'm not waiting another week to pick up the mail because I need Sue Brockschmidt's socks. Thank you. And now the socks have been removed since you bought this separate from the actual the gift list. And whoever this person was that also bought that transaction disappeared. So far, the only thing that's been purchased was the diet ginger beer from Sue M, who now says that I can say her name. Just call me Sue M. So thank you, Sue M. So now we got two friends that are Sue Brockschmidt and Sue M. So if you come into the chat, Sue M, feel free to say hello to everybody. Everybody would like to welcome you here. I did win on MASH night. I didn't see the last minute of the show. I'm glad I wasn't a contestant on that because I wouldn't have known any of those answers to that trivia. And I'm really good with TV and TV trivia, but I remember some of the characters, but I was very, very young when MASH came on, and I don't watch it in syndication, so I would not have been able to answer any of those questions. But I did win through the chat. I won a channel mug, and I would assume it would be from Mama Bird, or would it be from GP? Uh, I'm not sure, but they have my address because I've actually won on their lives before. So thank you, Mama Bird. If you're watching this, she's probably not. She's busy with her own channel, and she's got kids and grandkids. They have a very busy life, and they're always out gold prospecting. And it's probably warming up there, so they're probably getting ready to travel soon and go hunt for gold. But thank you to Mama Bird and GP. And I just received a sparkle. Thank you, Kelly Ray. You did not do well. Oh, Hogan. Okay, they said Hogan was going to win. Oh, I saw Fran was on there. I know who Fran is. And then Jason E. Miner came in. He comes into this channel every now and then. It hit 76 today in Maine. Gosh, that may be warmer than it is in Los Angeles. Especially we had that storm, and the weird thing about that freak storm. And by the way, that video sucked because my microphones did not pick up the thunder. My camera, even though iPhone 17 Pro Max that I had to get a replacement, didn't see the lightning. So all the sound effects that were supposed to be in that video weren't. I would have to actually have a regular film, or not a film camera, but a digital camera for YouTube that have one of those big Rode mics across the top to be able to pick that up. And I just don't have that type of equipment. But that storm that just came rolling through here, and I got a severe weather warning on my phone. Sadly, that storm ended up in Big Bear. And the day of my birthday, it rained the whole day up there. And remember, the eagle, Jackie, she's got two little ones. But those little ones, they grow very, very fast. So it's getting harder and harder for her to cover them up on her brood patch. And she was literally soaking wet the whole day on April 12th because of the rain up there. And when that storm that was spotted over Van Nuys, and they said it was moving east at 30 miles an hour, and I'm like, oh my God, it's going to be here in like a couple of minutes at that speed. That ended up causing a snowstorm in our local mountains. I mean, like it snowed a lot. And that poor eagle, she's trying to keep the babies warm. And apparently, the dad, he actually came and sacrificed himself and put his wings um, over Jackie for a certain point, actually brought a fish from the lake in the middle of a snowstorm so that she could feed the babies. And, there's been babies that they have lost in the past due to snowstorms or rainstorms. So let's just pray that that's the last snowstorm or rainstorm of the year up at Big Bear, and that our little baby eaglets will be able to have survived it. A lot of times that'll take them out. English wordplay. Hello, welcome in. Sue says bad tornadoes in Iowa and Wisconsin. I hope we don't get anything in Michigan. I hope not either. Vicky says 82 in Alabama. Wow, where are you in Alabama, Vicky? I saw Kelly said it was 76. Are you in southern Alabama? or Upper Alabama. Yeah, Jay, it's just the love between those 2 could teach the world so much. I mean, they would die for each other. That was like my whenever I had mixed Maine Coon cats, they would have taken a bullet for me or for the other cat. Um, oh, you're in Middle Alabama, okay. Oh, Kelly says now 81 in Tuscaloosa. Wow. Yeah, we had 90 since February, but it's finally cooled down again. Hi, 11. 11 is not dead. 11, we have Will Byers that comes in here. Yes. So you may want to subscribe to my channel, 11. I get that reference. Are you a friend of Will Byers by any chance? Because he does come into my show quite often now. He's one of our new friends here. So welcome in, 11. Yeah, I love that reference, 11. Everybody welcome 11 to the channel. Vicky says you're 4 hours away from the beach. I'm only about 20 to 30 minutes. If there's no traffic, I could be there in 20 minutes, but with my health, I don't get to the beach anymore. And, but I still do get the beach fog that comes in uh, most of the year that comes across the Hollywood Hills. So I can smell the ocean from here, but I'm a little too far at 20 minutes. So for 4 hours, I've never lived 4 hours away from a beach in my entire life. uh, Everything is going good. Are you talking to me? Or are you talking to? Oh, Jay said hi. Hey, 11. You only like the beach at night when it's cold. The beach is plenty cold here. So thank you for the continued cards. I can't wait to read them tonight. And thank you to my friend Carol, whose address I will cover. Look at the pretty handwriting. That's from Little Summer. She's so sweet. I've known her since she was born, since she was 5 weeks. Vicky says, yes, I've been thinking about you. Thank you. English wordplay. Subscribe. Thank you so much. Do we still have the person from Scotland? So far, I've only seen Scotland come in today. English wordplay. Are you here in the United States? Is anybody coming in from international? We've got people coming in from everywhere now. New Zealand and Australia and Egypt and Israel and Europe and Brazil and India, and the Middle East. It's amazing. I just can't believe I've reached this many people. Oh, you're from India. Yeah, we have quite a few people. Oh, I haven't seen him today, Kelly. I did see him yesterday when I was trying to film my storm video. And he laid down 4 small super chats, but amazing. I did not see him I did a show later that was about Nancy Guthrie, and I did not see him in that show. Your local man from Israel. Are you a friend of Sarap's by any chance? I mean, I know, Israel's it's a much smaller country than it is here in the United States, but we have a very good friend on this channel, your local man, named Sarap. And he's in from Tel Aviv. Where are you in from? Are you in Tel Aviv as well? But thank you for coming in, your local man. Donna, or Donnie, sorry. You're from Mansfield, Ohio. No, you don't have any friends. Oh my gosh. Hand-eye coordination skills. I'm in Cork City in Ireland. I am a bit Irish myself. I've had so many new friends that have come in from Ireland. That's amazing. Thank you, Vicky. Yeah, if you guys didn't see the beginning, at the beginning of my videos now that so much has happened, I have to do a little housekeeping at the beginning. And for any of you, those that know me or don't know me, please watch the beginning of this video when we're done here. And if you've been watching me through this entire, like a lot of new friends have come in through the Nancy Guthrie case that we've been keeping. I want to keep it relevant. If I have to talk about her for the rest of my life, I will. Hopefully, she's gonna be found sooner than that. Yes, you have friends here, the best ones. Absolutely, Sue Brock. I keep calling you Sue Brock, but I think is your last name Brock Schmidt? Is that like that's one name? Or is it Sue Brock Schmidt? Jay says, missed you yesterday, was at ER, thought I was having cardiac symptoms. Oh, wow. Went through the test and all okay. Oh, I remember you were having the stomach pains, right? I'm glad that you went and checked it out. Hopefully they gave you a scan. Oh, it's all one word. Yeah, I just call you Sue Brock, but now I have my new friend Sue M. And I don't know if Sue M, if she has that username when she comes into my shows and she's just not, entering the chat, but I know she's watching because she was the one that was sending the Venmos regarding the Nancy Guthrie case. It's always regarding my work on the Nancy Guthrie case. So thank you. And she said yesterday that it was okay to mention her, that she doesn't need to be a secret and that we can all just call her Sue M. But I don't know if that's her actual YouTube username. So if you show up Sue M, please type something into the chat. Or if you're watching this on the replay, feel free to say something in the comments. Oh, hello, Desane. Welcome back. Yes, put in the tube. Ooh, yeah, I don't like the tube. Well, the CAT scan tube is nothing compared to the MRI tube. If I need an MRI again, I've had so many, and the last one was so bad. It was the kind where they put the the cage over your head, and I will never do that for the rest of my life. Um, oh, Vicky has vascular surgery coming up next week. You'll be okay, and hopefully you're going to feel a lot better. But we will definitely pray for you, Vicky. Yeah, some of us on here are walking medical disasters, Vicky, including myself, the number one medical walking disaster here. And we're all here to help each other out. I did that once where it covers my face. We'll never do that again. I won't either. I mean, that was as close to near death that I think I've ever been, except for when I had my heart problem and the ambulance was driving about 100 miles an hour to get me to the hospital. Uh, oh, Hart says, your sister is having a heart valve replaced tomorrow. I may need that in the future because my valve is slightly leaking, but not enough where they have to do anything about it yet. And I know it's a risk, but I know it's a bigger risk not to fix it. I think Arnold Schwarzenegger has actually had it done at least once, maybe twice. So we will have good thoughts for Hart's sister and for Vicky. Yes, Hart says that is correct, April. And I know you've been through a lot because of what happened in your family earlier this year. So just keep the faith. I had a rough start to 2026 as well, but I could have given up and I kept going. And this horrible tragedy happened with Nancy Guthrie, and I wasn't even through. I mean, I still had to have my surgery, like on February 6th, and then oh my God, I developed an infection from one of the procedures in that surgery, and I was sick through like March, and uh, now I've got the dental thing, and apparently, the letter from the cardiologist to the dentist happened today. But the dentist has no staff and is unable to pick up. So he's probably trying to call me right now while I'm online and I'm missing the call. And, I love this dentist. He's my dentist from Thailand. My Thai family actually referred me to him. But the fact that he has no staff right now, that's not really working out for me. The fact that nobody can pick up the phone or return calls, and what should have taken 45 minutes took an hour and a half. I can't even imagine how long a filling replacement is going to take. But apparently, I do have medical clearance. So pray for me as well. I never thought that just having some dental work could be so risky, but apparently it is with my condition because of heart arrhythmias and medication. So Jay says, I don't mind it at all. I just tell them to turn the music up as loud as possible. And I also count to 60 and keep track of minutes that way. Oh my God. Sue says, yes, I'm a walking medical mess. Lots of or autonomic nervous system issues. Sure is entertaining. Well, we're all in this together, friend. Well, welcome back, Elvis Presley. Where have you been since 1977? I know a lot of people have been seeing you. Sue Brock, it's okay. Glad I was able to raise my kids and work. Hart says, you got it, April. Prayers for us all. Yes, Sue. Every day. Hey, Trisha. You know, Trisha, you have helped me immensely in this YouTube journey, I should call it. I know you're busy at this time of the day because you need to spend time with your husband, but when you have a chance, when you're free, you need to go back to the beginning of this video because you were here for the birthday. You were here for the birthday video, and something has come up because of that show with one of our regular watchers who probably isn't watching anymore. Uh, so uh, you'll have to see it. Just, yeah. Apparently, I have lost my moral character. 42 years of fighting crime. I support a family from another country. I won't. I'm not going to toot my horn here, but people that know me know me. Uh, but that was the first in my entire lifetime that I've ever been accused of that. But you know what? It is what it is. Uh, oh, thank you for taking care of some business. Cass Kings, welcome in. Well, it's a channel member, and I don't remember if she. I'll have to look it up in the records. Does she have a paid membership or was she gifted a membership? But yeah, I think it may just be a misunderstanding. Hart says, they asked if I was claustrophobic for an MRI, and I said yes. They threw a face cloth over my face and said, "You're the dude." I will never do that again. Uh, I'm doing well, Elvis. How are you, sir? Jeannie Lambert. Hello, Jeannie. Or Jenny. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Jenny. The words are very, very small on this little screen. Goodbye, Elvis. You too, Elvis. Wherever you are. I'm happy to see you too, Jeannie. Jeannie Lamberti, where are you coming in from? Yeah, I don't like to take drugs, Sue, but apparently you can, but then you have to get a driver. Yeah, I don't like being drugged. I've had a lot too, Jay, a lot. Between my back and cancer and neurological, ugh. I don't even know how many CAT scans and MRIs I've had. A CAT scan is a cakewalk, but my cardiologist and my oncologist have warned me that they're giving me too much radiation. Oh, you're from Connecticut. That's where I lived. After I was born in Rhode Island, I came home to Connecticut. Elvis, well, obviously you're in from Tennessee, but have you gone back to Graceland, Elvis? Elvis has left the building. From East Haven. Jay, you are brave. Maybe you can do it for me next time. If you could, I'd fly out here if you could do it for me. Um, Savage, hello. Where are you coming in from? Wow, we got people from India tonight, Ireland, and my old home state. Trisha, I went back and looked. I am sorry that you were made to feel less than just because you couldn't use a gift that was obviously regifted to begin with. And I've offered it to somebody. Anybody that wants it, I'll be willing to use some of these YouTube donations that, by the way, I haven't received a penny, and apparently I'm going to get less than 50% of most of these. Um, I'll be happy to pay for the postage if somebody really needs it, or I will. I was going to maybe eBay it, but I think they have like 20,000 hair straighteners on there. But I do sometimes donate to the Bunny Love Rabbit Rescue that's literally down the street from me in NoHo. Uh, Maybe I can just list it cheap and then get them the money, like whatever. It's not just going to be tossed into the trash, and it's not going to be donated to Goodwill because someone will open the box at Goodwill and they'll steal the parts, and then they won't be able to sell it, and it'll end up at the bins, and then nobody will buy it at the bins because it's missing parts, and then it'll go in the crusher, and then it goes into the landfill. And we don't like to put anything in the landfill that we don't have to. What's a NoHo? NoHo is North Hollywood. Uh, your choices were to shove it in a closet, call her, and have her come pick it up, give it away, or sell it. Uh, you know what? I'm sure it was just her mother had planned to come that day, and her brother wanted to, but he had to work that day. And I don't think she remembered because she just had a baby and she's so sleep deprived and just started going back to work the day after Easter. So I don't think she knew until that day when her mom called and said, "Hey, we're all going." And then she just like was in a rush to go get the Portos and I didn't even mention on there that it happened so quickly that they didn't even have time to pick up the food. I ended up ordering the food, and just to feed there were 6 people here, but one was on breast milk. It cost almost $100 just to get the lunch, and I'm on disability. Now she did send me a little financial donation after the lunch after I got off my show, that'll cover the lunch. Uh, but I was gonna, they're my family, I'll pay for it. But that was not even mentioned that I hadn't received the donation. I was just that's the, from my bestie was like, let's have Reno's, and I'm like, perfect idea, and we all enjoyed it. And you know, if I ended up having to pay for all of them, that would have been fine. Uh, like I've paid for their lawyers. I helped the mom we got the kids here. Like, you have no idea what this family has been put through by the US government. And they've always been here legally, but they've been harassed for over 20 years. They haven't even been able to get their citizenship yet because of the harassment that's going on in our government. But we're not going to talk about politics today. So, yeah, that was just people have no idea. Donate to the pig sanctuary. Where is that, Jenny? I donate to Buddy Love Rabbit Rescue. Occasionally, I donate to Bellowing Acres. They're north of Ocala, Florida, and I don't know if it's Interlaken, Interlachen. I don't know how to pronounce that town, but they're in the middle of nowhere. Hey, thank you. The scary. It says CA and then dot dot dot. What is that? Thank you so much. I'll figure it out. Can I give you 100 gifted, ma'am? Go ahead, Kenneth. Uh, oh, you adopted a pig for the classroom. Pigs are one of the smartest animals and they make terrific pets. I would love to have a place where I could have a pig. Uh, Hello, Kenneth. Wow, that is a shock. She says, shockingly, Jay says, shockingly, my ER visit was only $150 yesterday. Insurance did its job. Wow. Yeah, see, I'm under the belief that people here that have worked their whole life and they're legally here, people that are legally here, whether they're a citizen or they have a green card, people that are legally here should not have to become homeless and file bankruptcy because of medical disasters, especially cancer. It's unheard of. Things like this don't happen in other countries. Uh, you have $1,000 deductible. Um, oh, scary cat. That's what that was. Scary cat with kaleidoscope glasses. Now I see it. Wow. I like that. That was cool. Was that on top of what was already sent? Oh, okay. I saw it. I did see it. Thank you, Scary. Or uh, kaleidoscope glasses. Was there a second one, Trisha, that I missed? Or was it just the one? Jenny's in the Midwest. That's where my whole family's from. My my kids love them. Their favorite food is animal crackers, so we donate a case a month. Oh wow, where's this pig sanctuary? I love cats. Welcome in. Oh yeah, I thought it was just the one. Okay. Thank you, Trisha. Avi, welcome in. Where are you coming in from, Avi? Yeah, so this most of this video was about Nancy Grace. Nancy Grace. Nancy Guthrie. Hello, Nancy Grace, my friend, if you're watching. Nancy Guthrie, day number 73, and about the house on top of the cul-de-sac. It's kind of interesting. If anybody here knows more about than what I reported in this video, feel free to send an email. Just don't spam me. And God forbid you need to hand out my name to an organization. It is April Davis or April Davis PI, but I'm not April Davis Platt or Pratt. But I can't wait to read all these cards tonight. Um, we would hope that April, but the money would be taken somewhere else if not healthcare. Um, what? Kelly says, I just fell on my shin and seem to have a big clot about the size of my thumb. Yes, you need to go to the hospital right now, Kelly, especially if it's sore or if it feels hot. Perez Hilton just went through that after a sepsis infection, and it was from his groin to the top of his foot, and he almost died. So, yeah, he was having a hard time walking and just wasn't recovering from his when he got out of the hospital from sepsis. And it was right around Easter. He even missed Easter with his kids. But yeah, if you feel something that doesn't seem right, you definitely need to go to the hospital. Vito, thank you, my friend. Make sure to send me a text later and let me know if you made it to the hospital, Kelly. Yeah, definitely, Trisha. Yes, please take care of that. It's not hot. Okay, that's a good sign, but still, you need to see the doctor. Uh, hello, alien. Alien or Aline? Did I just call you alien? That's what I saw. I saw Alien. Oh, I get it. Alien being. Okay, I get it. Ding ding. Uh, go ahead, hit that super chat button, alien. Uh, it's on the same leg that I have broken and still wear an air cast. Definitely go have it checked out. Yeah, Hilton has 3 children. Please, Kelly. Don't even think twice about it. Thank you, Vito, for the 2 jewels. Zippity doo dah. Who painted the picture? I don't know. I got it in Burbank, California at a Goodwill for $20, and I love it. So many people comment on that picture. Sue Brock says, my daughter called and I am on the phone with her, missing some of the chat. Is Kelly okay? Well, I hope so. She's going to go to the hospital. Trisha, that's true. There could be a clot forming or a blockage. Get gone now. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, urgent care. If that's a blood clot, you just want to bypass urgent care completely because I had to go to urgent care for my heart and then they had to call the ambulance from there. Like, no, I should have just gone directly to the hospital and I know better now. Uh, Paris or Perez? Perez. Perez Hilton has 3 children and Paris Hilton has 2. Paris Hilton has a son and a daughter, and Perez Hilton has a son and 2 daughters. Hi, little man. 2 separate celebrate celebs. Thank you, little man. Where are you coming in from? Because it's already casted, the ER is the best choice. Yeah, I think so, Trisha, but just, err on the side of caution. And hopefully it's not a clot. But if it is, you don't want the delay by going to the urgent care first. Because they can take care of that right away in a hospital, but it can be super dangerous if it's not taken care of. And I know you haven't felt well for quite a while. So, you know, Perez, after he had a sepsis and they told him he was fine and they sent him home, a few days later, he was right back at the hospital. In fact, he was at the surgery follow up with his surgeon when they were like, you have to go straight to the hospital from the doctor right now. And it's a good thing he did, or he wouldn't be here right now. He would have never been able to see his kids. And he's a single parent. So definitely get to a hospital. Um, Oh, the person who has it. Yeah, we're not doctors here, but she thinks she has a blood clot. So hopefully she's already on her way to the hospital. Yeah, we don't give out medical advice here, but if there's something wrong, err on the side of caution and get yourself some medical help immediately. Good statement, Trisha. I appreciate you. Trisha for the save. Um, Kelly. Okay, Sue Brock. Kelly, if you are still there, go to the ER as soon as you can and don't rub your leg. I had a blood clot before. Yeah, very serious, Jay. Exactly. We are not qualified. We are not medical professionals here. So go see one. So I really appreciate everybody that's come in today. There's not a lot of new news coming in right now about Nancy Guthrie, but I did want to tell you about the house on the hill and, the real estate situation there between the the elderly couple. I've heard that they're elderly. I mean, obviously the warranty deed doesn't state their age, but apparently they live in another state and they have a lot of real estate investments, and so they sold the house on the hill to their daughter for $10, but she, lives elsewhere. And there's been a crew allegedly from Mexico working on that house, renovating that house, laying a pool at that house. And one of the neighbors reported to some of the, live YouTubers that are actually boots on the ground in Tucson and Nancy's neighborhood of Catalina Foothills, has said there's, some strange people, some strange going ons there. And they've heard some screams coming from there. And the lights were all lit up at that house the night that Nancy was abducted. So it's definitely something that hopefully the police and the FBI are looking into. Um, oh, I must have missed that. Thank you. Thank you. What would I do without my mods? Oh, no panic here. Um, mm. Oh, Trisha says, sorry, Blue. I didn't even see Blue. Blue Dragon. I thought for a second you were saying Kelly was unalived. I shorted your time out. Very sorry. No problem, Trisha. I know, Jay. I said that earlier. Wouldn't it be weird? We're searching from the US to Mexico and maybe even beyond. Wouldn't it be weird if Nancy was across the street the entire time? Yeah, I'm sorry, Blue. I didn't even see you come in. Apparently there was some sort of a goof here, but Trisha, she took care of it. So thank you, Trisha, and thank you for being understanding, Blue Dragon. I didn't even see it come in. So we were talking about the Nancy Guthrie neighborhood and the house at the top of the cul-de-sac and how some people seem to think that the workers there could be, let's just say, on the list of suspects. And I don't talk about that in my suspect video. That had not come up yet when I made my list of suspects video. If you guys haven't seen that on my long form content, go click the video tab and go to the suspect list video. But I don't say anything about the house on the top of the cul-de-sac, which is also, if you also listen to some of these YouTubers, they'll refer to it as the house across the street. It's not like right across the street, but that's just like part of the land. It's like desert. The lot across the street, I don't even know who it belongs to. You have to go to the top of the cul-de-sac, and it's at the top. But if the lights are on at that house, you can see it from Nancy Guthrie's front door at night. Um, Failure of police. The empty house should have been a first stop. Absolutely, especially when the sheriff came out and said, has anybody, if you didn't see anything the night it happened, but you've seen something since that doesn't add up, like somebody has suddenly moved or they haven't shown up at work or something just in the neighborhood doesn't look right, that could be a clue of somebody's acting strange. And they're saying that there's even Facebook groups about this, that there's strange things that are going on at that house and that there's been screams. Oh, I missed that. I'm so sorry. The laughing disco. I'm sorry I didn't see it. Thank you, V Miss 5. And thank you, Trisha. You've saved me again. Everybody, give a shout out to Trisha here at Hearts of Gold. Oh, Hearts, you need to go. Okay, I understand. It's 3 hours ahead. You take care too, honey, and good luck to your sister's valve replacement surgery tomorrow. I'll be praying for her tonight. Well, everybody's liked here unless you get out of hand, zippity doo dah. If you get out of hand, you'll be blocked. Or not blocked, you'll just be timed out for 24 hours. Because, hey, now that this channel is monetized, everybody that comes in, even the yahoos, the knuckleheads, that's clicks. And YouTube, they take, everybody was saying that it's a 70% take, but no, 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 no. If it's coming from an Apple device, Apple takes the first 30%, and then whatever is left over after that 30%, then YouTube takes their 30%, which results in a total of less than 50%. So when I had that birthday live and our good friend Sarah came in and he laid down the largest donation that I've ever had on this YouTube channel, ever. Uh, I will see less than half of that. But I'm glad that people are sending the super chats and the super thanks. I've actually only received one super thanks since the monetization on, like a long form video, and that was from my friend Kelly, who hopefully is on her way to the hospital right now. But yeah. Uh, and for those that have sent to Cash App or PayPal or Venmo just to support the channel, even in little $1 increments, that's going to help a lot when I finally can see where this is going to land, a month from now. VMIS 5. Yeah, that's the house that the streamers have always showed that had lights on. Very weird house. Yeah, well, we talked about it earlier. There was a family, it was a husband and wife. I'm not going to say their first names, but they were the Levies, and they owned that house apparently for years, but they don't live there. They live in Texas, and they own quite a bit of property apparently in multiple states. And I think I've been told through the internet, not me personally, that they're an older couple, and that in order to avoid, probate, that they have gifted some of their properties to their heirs, while they're still living, and they have gifted that house to their daughter in the amount of $10, but she has her own house somewhere else, doesn't actually live there. She may not even live in Tucson. I don't know, and I'm not going to say her name. I'm not going to look her up, but this is all public record. And apparently she's the current owner, but she has hired a construction crew that apparently comes back and forth from Mexico, which, it's close, but not close enough to drive back and forth to every day. So I guess the crew, they stay in the house overnight. They live at the house for weeks at a time, and then they leave and they go back to Mexico for a while, probably to, take the money and see their families and, live their lives in Mexico. And then, they come back when they can and they do different projects. And supposedly, the crew left right after the Nancy Guthrie disappearance. But I've also heard that before they left, that somebody they had concrete poured for the basin of a swimming pool. Can't confirm if that's true. You can't really see on Google Maps because they don't really have a current picture of the place. But apparently, the cops have been up there at least once um, during the daytime when some of the YouTubers that are, the boots on the ground have been there and they've seen cop cars rushing up the street. But um, I would like to know more about uh, if that house if there could have been somebody there that may know something or could even be involved in this. Apparently the lights were on like at, 2 a.m. at that house, and somebody thinks they saw a flashing light when, a ski mask guy or front porch guy, whatever you want to call him, when he turned, and he's got the bite lamp, you know, between his teeth on his tongue, and it's kind of like reflecting off the Nest camera lens. Apparently, he turns and some of the lights flash, and initially they looked like headlights, but they weren't headlights. That house was totally lit up, and it's not directly across the street. It's up on the hill, but that house was all lit up in the middle of the night, which is kind of odd to at 2 o'clock in the morning Sunday morning that house was all lit up. But maybe there's a lot of exterior lamps, but somebody thinks that he looked towards a person that was standing across the street or up the hill or um, I don't know how many yards it would be from Nancy's front door to that property. I don't know if the property that's on the corner is also part of that house or if it's just common property or if it's part of the house that's one house down that's across the street that's on Nancy Street, because that corner is just like it's just desert and it's hilly and cacti and rocks and tumbleweed. And so but you do through the moonlight you do see the lights coming down the hill during the time that the front door man or porch man or masked man was presumably there to do the deed or meet somebody who was doing the deed. Um, yeah, it is weird, isn't it, VMIS? Hi, Jane. Good night, Jane. Oh, VMIS, I'm sorry. Been to the doctor, have an upper respiratory infection. Ugh. Well, I'm glad you went to the doctor. I will pray. We'll add VMIS to the people we need to pray for tonight. Not being able to breathe properly sucks. Yeah, I had that situation with the heart situation, and it was awful, scary. The Miss says that explains why it's empty. Well, that's what I'm hearing, but I'm not in Arizona, and I'm not one of the people reporting on the ground, but this is just something that needs to be talked about as a piece of the puzzle. Zip, April provides entertainment and donations are strictly volunteer. What other form of entertainment doesn't require a payment before you are able to enjoy it? Thank you, Trisha. You are one of the smartest people here, Trish, or Trisha. I started calling you Trish, but I know it's Trisha. Trisha G. It has been said they are digging a pool. Yeah. And I've also heard that they laid concrete right after this happened. But I've also heard that the workers that were staying inside the house from Mexico, that they left right after this happened. And remember, the AI that picks up the dark spot on the wrist of the guy wearing possibly a double black glove, like maybe the black glove is the exterior and maybe there's a smaller glove underneath. You can't really tell, but you see the wrist, and people think they see the top of a tattoo, and then AI has created this whole picture of a tattoo this big, which you can't see because he's got long sleeves on, but they're like, "Oh, that's from a Mexican gang," and it could even be hair or a watch band, but people are swearing that they're seeing a tattoo there, and AI thinks that that's a Mexican gang tattoo. I don't know how they could get that from just a little, patch on a camera. Uh, there is drone footage of the pool work. Oh, I'd like to see that, Trisha. I heard that the concrete was laid after the disappearance, but I don't know if that's true because I've also heard that the neighbors, left right after this happened. And there's a person who's another neighbor, and I don't know who that is, but his name is Paul. And he's told some of the YouTubers on the ground that there's strange things that occur and that they've seen strange people. Um, and they've heard screams coming from that house. And that's definitely worth checking out. According to a neighbor, that house's lights were on 24/7. Okay. Just that night or all of the nights? Like every day? Okay. And the pool work was done before, but land around it was being leveled after. Yeah, this may have nothing to do with it, but it's definitely worth checking out. Luna, yes, we pray here for everybody. They should at least send cadaver dogs up there. It wouldn't hurt, Jay. They'd have to have a warrant. And I know the owner doesn't actually live in the house. I don't even know if she lives in Arizona, but you know, they could, let law enforcement handle that. Of course, I like British people. I'm a British person. I'm an American, but I'm a British blood and Irish blood and German blood and a wee bit of Italian, like 3% or something. We don't even know for a fact that she was abducted or live or dead. Exactly, Trisha. We don't know. Okay, Vima says, yes, I've seen a lot of the live streams and I paid attention, so the lights do stay on. Okay. But you remember, someone also claims that they saw the front porch guy turn and like look in that direction and that there's a blinking light. Now that could just be a camera, the lens trying to see through the darkness, and maybe the camera lens is, there could be a technical explanation for why one of the lights appears to be blinking, but other people seem to think that that's somebody with a flashlight, and the guy that had the bite light, the masked man, also known as front porch man, that he turned and was giving some sort of a signal, and they gave a signal back. I know it's a stretch, but it's something to talk about. Uh, Tricia says, April, I come from Troll Avenue. You would not believe the things I've seen. You know, just when I think I've seen and heard it all, and I do have very thick skin because I'm a private detective, and people don't like cops. They don't like private eyes. They think it's what they see on TV or in the movies, and that we're out there with a camera following the cheating spouses. Like, PIs do that, but excuse me, I don't have to do that to make a living. I've worked insurance fraud, missing persons, celebrity gigs. I've worked movies, TV shows. Like uh, I'm more of uh, a fraud getter. Like, let's go get the bad guy. Let's put people away in prison. Uh, I've also been a protector. I've actually worked bodyguard work on private property. Um, handled threats and harassing, and I've done a couple of maybe 4 or 5 kidnapping cases in my career. I'm not an expert at kidnapping. Um, that tattoo construction is stupid. Oh, you mean the AI where they took that little teeny piece? Now, someone said that the little teeny piece that you see that could be a tattoo looks like a hat. And once they said that, I was like, oh, yeah, I can kind of see a hat, but that could be a hairy arm too. You will see if you can locate it, April, and post the link on this video comment section. Uh, which link? Feel free to list it. Uh, oh, someone said to watch Mark the Shark, but they didn't know which video. And when I went to his page, because I mean, I've heard of him, but I don't watch his videos. I didn't know which one it was. And he has tons of drone footage. Oh, great. I'd be getting a warrant to dig up that whole lot. You know what? If this is even a possibility, first I would see if there's any evidence that supports this possible theory. Uh, and it's not my theory, it's just something I'm reporting on because I've been reading a lot about it lately. Uh, I try to get that warrant too, and I'd definitely send the cadaver dogs. I would definitely send the cadaver dogs. Nikki Horn says, God bless me. Thank you. Miss, I agree, Jay. I haven't seen police up. There were some police that went there during a Mark the Shark video, 2 patrol cars from Pima County Sheriff's. But apparently they were only there a few minutes, and they went from the front yard to the backyard and left. And that happened during that time that all the YouTubers were across the street. Yeah, cadaver dogs would be excellent if that's a possibility. It's definitely worth looking into because apparently, from what I'm hearing, some of the larger news outlets, the professional news outlets are claiming that, according to their private sources, that the police and the FBI have no viable suspects right now. Tricia, that's a good point. She says, oh my God, though, have you seen some of the criminal histories of some of the homeowners in that neighborhood? It's starting to look like Crime Central. Yes, it is. And apparently there's an awful lot of burglaries in that area too, although I don't think that that's what's involved here. Yeah, let's get something done. It is dark, but that's because of the wildlife regulations that prohibit the lighting. But I would love just to be there and, see the wildlife. Oh, we can't talk about those words. Yeah, they said gambling and the D word is not something we can discuss on the channel. Um, yeah, I think it should be checked out. And if you guys if you hear anything and you want to send me an email on it, fine. Just don't spam my email. That's become a problem lately. I mean, I was happy to say, there's sometimes people want to say stuff, but they can't say it in the chat. So they're always welcome to go to aprildavispi@gmail.com. If you send it to any other email, I'm not going to see it, get it, or read it. So that's the channel email. It's aprildavispi@gmail.com. But please don't spam my email. And if for any reason my name is passed out, I am April Davis, also known as April Davis PI, legally speaking. I am not April Davis Platt or April Davis Pratt. So, hello, Hank Carter. Uh, doesn't make sense not to light your neighborhood for safety. Yeah, it's because of there's the wildlife migration. You have to realize that this neighbor or that neighborhood is built on the foothill of the mountain and it's in the middle of the desert. And there's in fact, there's the javelinas have come to Nancy's property this week with their babies. And that was one of the things she enjoyed most about living in that property was seeing the javelinas come onto her property to eat the flowers. And they were actually eating the remaining flowers because most of the memorial has been removed per the HOA, but there are some fresh flowers that are being laid around the mailbox. And the javelinas showed up yesterday with their babies. Um, and I'm hoping that wherever Nancy is, she was able to see that. Uh, yeah, the lights ruin migration, especially birds. Absolutely. That happened a few years ago here in LA during a playoff game before the World Series. And there was a flock of Canadian geese that were coming from Canada to go south for the winter. And they saw the lights of Dodger Stadium, and one of them went astray and landed in the middle of the field. And people were laughing, and but it was horrifying. And he was like, he froze, and they went to commercial, and I don't know what they did, but he lost his flock because he saw the lights and got his built-in GPS went off, and I'm sure the rest of the flock just kept going. And I to this day I wonder what happened to the Canadian goose that landed at Dodger Stadium in the fall during the playoffs. And I have a picture of it actually on YouTube. TT Cool Beans, hello. Yeah, that's a very good point. Lights ruin migration. Yeah. Can you imagine the wildlife? I mean, there's mountain lions and coyotes and bobcats and uh, even the rattlesnakes. That's when they're out the most is at night. And they have these javelinas. I've never seen that before. Um, they kind of look like wild boars, but they're smaller. They're so cute. And apparently that was Nancy's favorite was to see the wildlife and the javelinas coming onto her property. She always had flowers out, so they could munch on the flowers. What a dear, dear person. I know, Sue. It was I have a picture of that guy or that not that guy, the goose on one of my YouTube shorts, and he was so confused. And yeah, he probably lives on some body of water forever stranded here now. Could be. We had a snowy owl that they think came in through a ship, a cargo ship, and it came to one of the neighborhoods in LA and sat on top of a house, and it looked like something out of Harry Potter, and it's not native to our area, and they think it migrated on a ship and got lost. Uh, Around my way, they built a new community around a lake. Geese always used it as resting spot, and I've never seen them again. I know. Hey, Kellyanne Sullivan. You've missed a lot today, Kellyanne. I urge anybody that's here, especially people that came to my birthday or they, sent me birthday wishes. You need to see the beginning of this, Kelly, and you'll be pretty shocked. It's actually Canada geese in plural. My high school science professor taught this way strongly. He actually gave birds scientific names. Oh, wow. So it's Canada geese rather than Canadian geese, is that what you're saying? Uh, I'm too sensitive for my own good. I feel bad for everything that is suffering. Me too. Oh, you haven't been feeling well. I'm sorry. There's been a lot of medical things that have been happening in the chat today. So hugs, Kellyanne. I'm not going to go too much longer here. I got things I got to take care of today, but if Sue is still here, I think she may have already left, but thank you again, Sue Brock. And thank you again to our new friend, Sue M. She has identified herself now as Sue M. She is the one that sent the Bundaberg Diet Ginger Beer for my birthday, which I think I'm going to have tonight with my dinner. I'm going to have a Bundaberg Diet Ginger Beer. I know, socks. I need the socks so bad. It's amazing after you go through a medical nightmare and a financial nightmare that you're wiped out forever because of a cancer fight. How little things like sock and underwear and hairbrushes become a big thing. I actually took some coupons. If you were here when I talked about going to CVS with a big coupon haul and my rewards haul, and got my makeup at 50% off. And I hadn't bought makeup since probably before chemo. So I had to have no new makeup since prior to 2019, and it's 2026. And I hardly wear it, but I have it for if I need it now. Uh, oh, we're not talking politics here, Wavy. I know, such a small thing, but it means so much. It's not a small thing. You said it's a small thing. This is big. And Puma, that's my favorite. In fact, Puma is my favorite shoe. Yeah, and they're very hard to find because I wear a 9.5, and not many ladies wear a 9.5. They are the most comfortable. And during all this, cancer stuff and scans, and I broke a toe due to my osteoporosis during my chemo. They had to do some X-rays, and they're like, "Oh, you've got a problem with your foot. Like, do you realize you're going to need to have surgery in the future? You've got like not a bone spur, but something like that on the heel of my foot." And they're like, "You don't feel that?" And I'm like, "Well, I usually wear my Pumas with my shoe inserts, and so it helps me a lot. It prevents the pain." And they're like, "Well, you better be really careful with that." So, you know, I do need some new Puma shoes soon, but I'm going to go ahead and start using my Puma socks today. They're the best. Skechers, that's what I have now. Thank you. I was just trying to think of the name. John, you read my mind. I have some Skechers right now. I have some Skechers. I actually own one pair of Skechers, one winter, like a low boot from Amazon, which I'm wearing right now, and I have a dressy boot. So I literally have three pairs of shoes to my name at this point, and I usually just wear the two. Uh, yeah, Skechers are wonderful, but they're not as good as Pumas. Pumas are the best. Oh, I've never had any Hokas. Yeah, I hear that from the resellers that, oh, find the Hokas, like at the bins and or the garage sales or the estate sales. Look for the Hokas. But yeah, those are supposed to be great. I've never owned a pair in my life. Nike. I used to do a lot of work for Nike. I actually worked with Nike in Paris. And speaking of Paris, even though I haven't got my check yet, you know what really got my eye is that it says Paris and then it has 1974 on it. And in 1974, I actually was in Paris for about a week. So I'm going to set up my purse tonight while I watch the ball game. Oh, Trisha. She says, April, I'm going to send you an email sometime soon. So if you see an email from Not Today Satan, okay, that's you. Okay. Thanks for letting me know. Of course, I wouldn't throw it in the trash, Trish. Or Trisha. Mental block here. You get ortho feet. Is that a shoe brand, Sue? Oh, they don't make a wide. Yeah, I used to wear a narrow when I was a kid, but I'm not narrow anymore, but I'm not wide either. I guess I'm just like a regular now. Hi, Riley. Yeah, so for those of you that are just coming in, make sure to go back to the beginning and see how I think, you know, tell me if I'm wrong, but I think I was wrongly accused in the middle of the night, of all things, of having no moral character. Ah, you know what? We have a super chat button for that now. And you get a shout out and you actually get a hype horn, even just for a gift. And those can be sent for free. Uh, Trisha, I own one pair of dress shoes. I don't have a pair of dress shoes right now, sadly. One pair of sandals and one pair of tennis shoes. Trisha prefers to be in her bare feet. Yeah, Pumas are the best, and I don't have a pair right now. And I like the kind that doesn't have the shoestrings that you can just slip into. Oh, my bunny's coming over. Oh my gosh. One of my channel members said that I have no morals. I've spent my entire life helping people, helping animals, and fighting crime, but I have no moral character. See the beginning of this video. And if you want to support me when you watch or replay the video, even if you just see the beginning part where we talk about this, maybe you can type something in the chat. No, but most of you guys don't know me. Sure, I'll show the bunny. Uh, hey, my mods, can you run this chat for 1 minute? Trisha, can you do your song and dance? I do have to go into the other room, and then I'll show you the bunny. Well, I don't want to have a hot mic. Let me leave my mic. Okay. I had to slowly hold it here. Oh, to slowly walk back because I didn't want the bunny. Come here, bunny. I didn't want her to leave. Let me flip the camera, everybody. So hold on. She's sleepy. She's got sleepy eyes. This is Amelia Kensley Bunny. Amelia Kensley Bunny. The absolute love of my life. Well, besides Kelsa Kitty. Oh, there she is. Hey, bunny. Yeah, I had to order some oat groats for her last night because I realized we were almost empty. And she only has a few a day, but that's her bunny crack. Yeah, isn't she adorable? She's so sweet, but she's Feral from the Mar Vista Horde. Yeah, if you guys ever want to research that, just type in Mar Vista Horde. It's a very horrible situation. Then she was in a kill shelter, and she was. Let me try to get this straight. She was less than 24 hours from being euthanized, and I was pretty close to dead myself, but I had to go save her. She was known as Rabbit 8. And who did I miss? She is so gorgeous, Kellyanne. She is the love of my life. Uh, what did I miss? Thank you for handling the chat, Trisha. Oh, you were singing Jesus Loves Me. My nanny, my childhood nanny taught me that. Yes, they do. Although the kitty can get very playful sometimes, and, you know, occasionally she ends up in a timeout. But I've been in the hospital quite a bit since I got the kitty, and they've managed to coexist together, and, I come home from the hospital multiple times, and they were both still alive and uninjured, so, yeah. Oh, you have a black kitty? I had a black kitty. In fact, one of his videos from before I was even on YouTube was up here. It's not a professional video at all. I just put it up to, like, open my YouTube channel, and it got, like, 60,000 views or something. Yeah, she is the love of my life. And her little sister, Kelsa, she's sleeping right now. That's what I have, Trisha. I have the calico kitty, and her name is Kelsa. And she has a personality, let me tell you. I'm used to boy cats and boy bunnies, and both of these little people, these little fur babies, they are girls, and girls are more difficult than boys. You need your treat? Let me get it for you. This is her oat groat. I just ordered some. It's coming from Amazon tomorrow. See, there's just like little seeds. She gets just a little pinch once or twice a day. That's all she can have for that treat. But it's the only time that I can fully touch her, which I'm doing right now with my right hand, when she's eating her bunny crack. She would probably kill for this. uh, you attract orange cats. I grew up with a white and an orange cat, Sue. Oh, I'm sorry. Your little Yorkie had passed away. I'm so sorry. They're so sweet. I had one as a child. Yeah, it used to be a little bit more red than this, but chemo took out my red hair, and it's slowly coming back. Yeah, I love orange cats. Had a couple in my life. Oh, it's been a couple years. You should definitely go for a rescue. Whether if it's a dog or a cat or a bunny, or even there's guinea pig rescues now. There's bird rescues too. Most birds will end up in 11 homes in one lifetime because of their longevity. I had a black lab as a child, and he didn't live very long. He had some sort of brain damage from being hit by a car before we had him, when his mother was pregnant with him, and it ended up very, very tragic. Never got over it. Yeah, I've had 2 tuxedo cats. I've had Spooky and Shadow, and Tomcat and Alfie. Yes, they are. And you got your 2 cats from Friends. Yeah, that's why I have to stay alive no matter what happens to me, because my biggest fear is what will happen to my animals. That's why I like to donate to rabbit rescue, because at least the money could go to rabbit rescue. But Kelsa, who would take care of my darling Kelsa? Oh, okay. I do work 8 to 9 hours a day, so I would worry about leaving them here all day, yeah. Oh, yours was Carly cat. Yeah, mine was, I had a tomcat, but he was a sort of a silver gray tabby, more of a silver tabby. His name was Tomcat with a K, because everybody in the family, they're either A's or K's or AKs. Even my Thai family are K's. So all my animals, Amelia Kinsley, um, but Kelsa, she was named after my friend. So she's a KK rather than an AK. And then there was Alfie Cat and Tomcat and a lot of A's and K's. Oh yeah, she's so sweet. She's so clean. She smells so good. Oh, I don't even know what an Aussie Doodle is. Sue says 2 dogs now, a pit bull, and an Aussie Doodle, and 2 cats. Oh, great. Trisha, well, he should have gotten the name changed to Marley Cat, but my husband would always tell him at least I didn't call him Sue. Okay. I Now that you guys have seen the bunny, I had a yellow Kit Kat. My hubby had a yellow cat. Okay. I do need to go. Thank you again, Sue Brockschmidt. It's the little things in life that make our hearts the happiest. And I'm sorry you had a problem using the wish list. Maybe Trisha could explain to the rest of us. I guess when you go on to the Amazon link and you go to the wish list, that if you push the wrong thing, you can buy it for yourself rather than for the wish list, and then they have to cancel and start over again. So I'm not sure how that works because I'm sure my view of it is different than your view. If I could find somebody else on here that has a wish list, then I could go into their wish list and see how it works. So, but it all got straightened out. Uh, yes, everybody have a wonderful day, a wonderful evening, wherever you're coming in from. If you didn't see the beginning of this, you may want to go back to the beginning to hear the actual chat about the house on top of the cul-de-sac and the Nancy Guthrie investigation. And just to make me feel better, you can see what I think, wrongly accused of. But if I'm wrong, shout me out, you know. But I do not think that I lack moral character. Just saying. When you buy from a list, you have to click on the product, then add it to the cart. Oh, okay. And she says she did. You can't just push the add to cart on the page. Huh. So when you buy from the Amazon wish list, which by the way is linked on the homepage of my channel page, it's at the very last link at the bottom, you have to click on the product, then add it to the cart. You can't just push the add to cart on the page. So you have to add it on the wish list page, or you have to go open it on his own page, because I think that's what she did. It somehow bypassed the wish list and went directly to her shopping cart to be sent to her. You have to click the actual item. Oh, thank you, VMS. Oh, and then you have to push the added from wish list. If there's anybody else that has a wish list, let me know or email me the link so I can look at somebody else's, because I'm sure mine is showing up different since it's my own. I'd like to go to somebody's wish list and see their products and see how I can buy somebody a gift so I can tell people, because before I could even take the socks down, since they came directly from Sue rather than from the wish list, since it didn't work out for her to do it through the wish list, before I could end the show and take these down, somebody else bought the same item. And then later that evening, the sale just disappeared. So maybe somebody was able to go cancel it, but I got the socks anyway. So, I didn't need a second pack anyway. But whoever you are, thank you for the thought. um, yeah, Sue, these mean the world to me. Yeah, thank you, VMS. Yeah, everybody, if you didn't see the beginning, see the beginning, tell me what you think, and you can put it in the comments of the video. And this chat will come up in 24 to 48 hours. YouTube has to reprocess it. So give me like 5 minutes, because after I sign out, I have to go over to my desktop and I have to answer a few questions for YouTube, so they'll reactivate the monetization for this video. So give me like 5 as soon as I go off the air. Put the shoes I want on them. I could put a pair of shoes on there. I only have one expensive item on there because they say that you should, what is your most wished for item? And mine is the microphone. So I put that on there, but everything else is like, there's things on there that are only like $3, that I would love to have. Uh, don't take the wish list down. Oh, I haven't. I will take the screenshots of each step if you like. Okay, thank you. So I guess when you click add to cart, it has to say add to wish list cart. And I think you have to do that before you actually click into the item, because then you're just adding it to your own cart for your own address, I think. But if anybody else has a wish list, send me the link to your wish list, and then I can go in and, try to buy something from somebody. So give me 5 minutes after I say goodbye, good night. And for some reason, YouTube now, when you do a live, before they process the video, I have to return the monetization on, and then you guys can actually see the chat 24 to 48 hours, however they take to process the chat. But you can at least see the video, and you could place a comment in the comment section. So I would appreciate that. Maybe it'll make me feel better, because I don't want that person to think bad thoughts about anybody. At the bottom of the picture is an add to cart. Don't push that one. Click on the product. You open someone's wish list, there are thumbnails of each of them. At the bottom of the picture is an add to cart. Don't push that one. Click on the product. Sigh, too much to type. Okay. Hopefully we'll figure it out. And by the way, nobody needs to buy anything on the gift list, but it was a great suggestion, Tricia, because I did end up receiving one of my favorite items, which was the diet ginger beer, and I ended up with this. So it just doesn't say that on the wish list, because she had to do it privately. So, but thank you. Under the description is an added from wish list, and you need to click that. Okay. Thank you, Tricia. I wouldn't have made it this far without you, honey. And I will look for your email that you said you were going to send. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night. And hopefully there will be more news to report soon. Let's pray for Nancy Guthrie. Love you all.